You're all set. Great. Well, thank you so much for joining us here at Carolina Rebellion. How are you enjoying your morning so far?
So far, so good. It's just going to get better.
Absolutely.
It's absolutely beautiful here for once.
Right.
Instead of it having beating sun or driving sand, we've actually got a beautiful breeze. It's a little chilly, but it's perfect.
Yeah.
It's absolutely perfect for a concert.
Absolutely. You guys have a different approach to playing bigger festivals like this versus like the smaller club shows, because I feel like you guys like really come alive in the festival environment. It's like freaking awesome.
We do, because obviously the excitement, so many people, but you can't take away the intimate setting. You know what I mean? There's just something about that, and that's where we come from. You know what I mean? When we first started, it was these small shows, sweaty, people bouncing off the stages, off the walls. Here's a little bit more production, bigger, which is cool because the people are here, but there's something about the smaller settings that are just awesome.
It's a completely different environment, and there's something to be said for each.
Right.
It's like in the festival environment, which is great, someone who may have never heard your music before gets introduced to you because they were a fan of another band.
Yeah,
So it's a good introduction to people, and it's a good kind of like sampling. It's almost like a food truck.
A buffet.
Yeah, exactly.
I like
a little bit of each.
And I think that's what's beautiful about the festivals, because you have an entire gathering of people that are just out to have a good time.
Right.
And they're exposed to different people that you would have never been exposed to, and you're exposed to a different clientele or genre.
Yeah,
which
so
is great.
you're trying to win over the people, that's for sure.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for being here.
Yeah.
She's got a few questions about your upcoming album, and then we'll just bounce it back and forth.
Awesome.
Yeah, you guys working on anything? Because I adored the concept behind The Awakening, and the fact that it told a narrative and a story. And like I miss the fact that you have to listen to albums, all the way through, because I feel like we're caught.
You get it. You get it.
Yes.
One person got it. Yes.
Good job.
That's the truth. We knew it was a risk, but we don't run our career like that. We're like, it was kind of a tribute to the old great concept records, and these 14-year-old kids, they don't understand that, but one day they will, and we've said this plenty of times. One day when we're not doing it anymore, or we're dead and gone, that kid's gonna get it and say, dude, this record is awesome. How did I miss this thing? You know what I mean? And hopefully it'll recirculate, 20 years from now, and people will be saying, dude, this was a great idea.
Do you think that you're going to continue with that type of like album release in the future?
We're unpredictable. The thing is, we don't plan it, but if we feel like doing it, we'll do it. This one, it wasn't planned. It just happened. I think now we're gonna write new songs, and then we'll put together a new record, and we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. Have you started that process yet at all? Or
so far, it's just been touring, and then when we get home this summer, in between, we're gonna be writing a record.
I was gonna say, you guys are like road warriors. You're like everywhere.
You know what? We've been together 24 years, and some people say, oh, P.O.D., I know that band. Those guys must have it made. It's like, dude, we've always been working.
You work hard.
We've been working from our independent records to our major label records, and now, it's that saying, you don't work, you don't eat. And that's P.O.D. Not so much for some bands, but for us, it's just how it's always been. So we're out here, and that's not the reason. We love doing it, so we're blessed to be able to do what we love and then feed our families, and we'll keep going as long as we can.
Absolutely.
Now there's a song on the album. It's Criminal Conversation. Are you guys planning on doing a video for that one?
I can honestly say I wish, but again, through the ups and downs of this music business, we got a bad deal with our label.
Okay.
So it's that thing. Just like I told you, P.O.D. is always working. Maria Brink from In This Moment is on that song, and she's amazing. And I think that song couldn't be any sexier, and it has an awesome meaning to it and a message, and I wish we could. If anything, we might just go grab some young kid from San Diego and say, dude, you want to do a video? And you just throw it up. Now you can just throw it up anywhere. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's how you do it.
Exactly.
They can make it in their basement in like 10 minutes. Exactly.
With a couple iPhones, and he's done.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's like somehow they need to restructure the rock scene in general, because you guys are out here, you're working your asses off. And you're working so hard, but you have to keep working in order to maintain any kind of level of stability as far as financially. And there's got to be a restructuring somehow.
Yeah, I always thought that 24 years later we'd be kind of working less, but the industry's changed, and that's life.
Yeah.
And And I guess when you love doing it, you know, time flies by.
What are the major things that you've noticed that have changed in the 24 years that you've been out here? The crowds or the industry or the way that you put things out?
I think we're just a little spoiled, you know what I mean? When I was a kid, we were just talking about this, there was such a mystery to rock and roll, you know what I mean? And you had to own it, you know what I mean? You went to the record store, you bought the record, you wanted to know, you know, who sang on the record, who did what, who produced it, what instruments are they playing, what studio is it at? And all that mystery's gone. And there's good sides to social media, and then, you know, but there's no mystery. I was just saying, you know, Carolina Rebellion, some kids that couldn't make it today because they woke up with the sniffles, they're gonna Periscope it later. You know what I mean? So the access is just too quick.
It's kind of like
we're spoiled.
It's taken away the intimacy of rock and roll because it's kind of like when you have a relationship, you need some of that mystery there. You need some of that. Like, oh, I don't need to know what you had for breakfast.
Yeah, and when we're talking about the intimate shows, like we come through your guys' cities all the time, but you may not even know that because you're paying attention to a lot of these bigger shows. Because, you know, it's more bang for the buck. I get that, but there's nothing like going to a small, you know, your legendary club here in the city, and where the sound is awesome, and you're like, dude, first of all, I saw him on that stage in front of 50,000 people. Now I saw him in front of 900 people. That was the show right there.
Right, exactly, because it's that intimacy compared to
you can touch, you can feel.
Yeah. Have a beer here, let me buy you a beer. Yeah, exactly.
You can talk.
When you see him, make sure you buy him a beer, okay? Or a Pepsi or whatever he wants. Just take care of the working musicians out there.
You get to hang out.
Absolutely, absolutely. Is there anything else that you'd like to say?
Can you talk a little bit about the generational appeal? Because I know that going out to a P.O.D. show now, you're almost seeing parents bringing their kids to shows, and it just has this, you know, generation appeal that you've been together for 24 years.
Right.
Like, what is that like for you to see that?
It's awesome. I mean, we started as kids, and now we're all daddies, and you're seeing the same kids that came to our shows. They're bringing their kids, so that is an awesome thing that they're saying. Because you have the music fans that are saying, okay, I know what's hip right now, but listen to some good music, and they're showing their own kids music, and these kids are coming out and singing songs that are older than them, and it's a beautiful thing, because I'm all about family.
Great. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, ladies.
You taking a few minutes to speak with us.
Thank you, guys.
Hey, you have a wonderful day. Enjoy the festival. Are there any acts that you are actually going out of your way to see?
I sneak and watch everybody in and out. One song here, one song there. Sometimes you got to race to the different stages.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I know. Well, you have a wonderful evening.
You too.
Thank you very much for your time.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.